Fantastic Monday. Welcome back to the DeFranco Show, and let's just jump into it. And the first thing I want to talk about today, by far the most requested story, and that is the United Airlines scandal. Now, if you've not seen this yet, oh, buckle up. And the way the story goes is there was a flight leaving from Chicago O'Hare going to Louisville. It turned out on this United Airlines flight, they overbooked it. Reportedly, there were 4 standby United employees. They needed to get to Louisville to be able to work on Monday, so they started offering people money to give up their seats so that these employees could get on the plane. And they wouldn't be able to take off until these employees were able to board. So they offered $400 to volunteers to give up their seats. Then $800, still no takers. And then reportedly a manager came onto the plane and said the computer is going to at random select 4 passengers, and those passengers will have to get off the flight. They say one couple was selected, they got off the flight, but then a man was selected and he refused to give up his spot. Some of the plane said the man claimed to be a doctor and that he had patients that he had to attend to, saying that it was very important, and so he refused to give up his seat. And because the man refused to give up his seat, United Airlines decided to call 3 security officers to remove him. And that has resulted in these videos I will show you that have blown up over the past 24 hours.
This is not right. Can't the pilots drive to Louisville? Can't they rent a car for the pilots and have them drive? No! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! No! Oh my Guys, my God! What are you doing? No, this is wrong. Oh my God! Look at what you did to him! Oh my God!
It appears they slammed the man's head into the armrest. It looks like he's just limp being dragged away. There were passengers saying it looked like he had serious bleeding from his mouth. Then we learned that the man actually got back on the plane somehow.
I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to go home.
He seemed disoriented and bloody. Then reportedly a medical crew removed him from the plane a second time. They also had the other passengers deplaned so they could tidy up, and the flight eventually took off 2 hours later. As far as why the airline had to tidy up, a new video has come out that really shows how much blood was involved. It's so disturbing. Now, in response to all of this, United Airlines released a statement saying, Flight 3411 from Chicago to Louisville was overbooked. After our team looked for volunteers, one customer refused to leave the aircraft voluntarily, and law enforcement was asked to come to the gate. We apologize for the overbooked situation. Further details on the removed customer should be directed to authorities. But that's also where at this time it gets a little bit confusing. There are a bunch of news outlets trying to get this story. They were told to contact the Chicago police, but then the Chicago police told them to call the Chicago Department of Aviation. Then when the Chicago Department of Aviation was called, it transferred them to a TSA message bank. And then a TSA spokesman said they were not involved and that people should contact the Chicago Police Department. It really appears that nobody wants this case on their desk. Although the Chicago police did release a statement stating the aviation officers attempted to carry the man off when he fell and hit his head on an armrest. Why is the Chicago Police Department releasing a statement like they're an abusive husband? I tried to carry her stupid ass, she fell. She busted her face on an armrest like a big stupid idiot, bled everywhere. It just makes me wonder if they were aware of how heavily documented this incident was before they issued this statement. It feels like they're a step away from, he was bleeding when we found him. It's weird because you wrote, he fell, but this video shows him aggressively being pulled and dragged. I no longer know who to believe. Apparently the Chicago Police Department hopes someone thinks. And here's what I'll say as far as my opinion. This ultimately is the responsibility of United Airlines. So to United Airlines, go fuck yourself. I will never book a flight personally through you again. If for some reason, if someone ever books me on a United Airlines flight and they do not fix it in the future, I will take that opportunity to remind people that this happened on your airline. Fuck you and fuck those 3 security officers that handled that man that way. You're garbage and everyone saw you be garbage. And this whole situation stemmed from the most annoying thing that airlines do these days, and that's overbooking. If there are 100 seats on an airplane, sell 100 tickets. If you have 4 employees that might need to use that airplane, maybe keep those seats open. Also, if you are going to screw someone out of their seat, preferably do it before they actually board the airplane. You scan my ticket, the full transaction has been completed as the point of no return or the point of no take backsies. To use a legal term, we all remember no take backsies versus the United States of America 1967 Supreme Court case. Made a point, do it before he gets on the plane. Also, as far as United Airlines, I don't know why they offered 400, then 800, and then they were like, we're just gonna kick some of you off. There's room where they could have offered more money. In the United States, if you are involuntarily bumped from your flight, and that flight to get another one is gonna be over 2 hours, which I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say Chicago O'Hare to Louisville, that's gonna be the case. The Department of Transportation in the United States of America requires that person to be compensated by up to $1,300. So why not offer $1,200 before you order 3 guys to forcibly remove someone, and they do so in a manner that slams a man's head into an armrest? Unless you yourselves are also annoyed by the overbooking situation and you actually plan for this situation to go down this horribly, so people choose not to fly United Airlines and so you never have any more overbooking problems. And that's really the only bizarro world argument you could have where this is not the worst thing ever for United. But the last thing I want to point out here is I feel like United and Pepsi have been able to do what so few people have been able to do in the past. Unite people from all different walks of life, but of course they had to do so the way that I've always said. The world can't unite around hope. The world can only unite around hate. Hate and criticism of someone or something else. Last week we got Pepsi. It was tone deaf, it was stupid, it was pandering, it was the commercialization of activism. And this week we have United bring the world together to go, what the fuck? You messed up in your booking procedures and you punish your customer? Not only with inconvenience, but with physical violence. But also, hey, that is just my opinion. Maybe you have a different takeaway from this, whether you agree or you disagree with me. I'd love to know your thoughts on this story. I, as you probably can tell, have some feelings on the matter, but I'd love to know what you're thinking. Also, a quick update. As I was reporting on this story, the CEO of United Airlines released a statement saying this is an upsetting event to all of us here at United. I apologize for having to reaccommodate these customers. I'm just gonna stop right there. Reaccommodate? Is that what this is? Here's an idea, Oscar. How about you let someone reaccommodate your face until maybe you start using words that actually depict the situation you're talking about? But the statement continues. Our team is working with a sense of urgency to work with authorities and conduct our own detailed review of what happened. We are also reaching out to this passenger to talk directly to him and further address and resolve the situation. AKA, please don't sue us. Please don't sue us. Also, to go out on this story with a fun little side fact, United Airlines CEO Oscar, who I am now going to forever call the reaccommodator, last month he received an award for being the U.S. Communicator of the Year from PR Week. If this situation is any indication, it's well deserved. But from that, I want to share some stuff I love today, and today in Awesome brought to you by the DeFranco 2024 shirt. A shirt that says, in just under 8 years, I am willing to waste my vote on Philip DeFranco unless the world is in such a dire state that Philip DeFranco is a viable option, in which case I was on the ground floor 7 years before everyone else. Or just a fun way to support the show. Either way, I'm doing a run of those shirts this week, link to that down below. And the first bit of awesome is we got our first full trailer for Thor Ragnarok. We see the goddess of death who quickly disarms Thor, lots of destruction, slow-mo Loki, and then ooh. And I'll say I'm excited, but I also can't feel out the tone of the movie. Is it dark? Is it funny? I don't know, but I know I'm gonna watch it. Come on. Then we had Louis CK on SNL, and on top of them, just in general, I feel like the whole episode was like the best episode they've had recently. They also opened up Louis' monologue, which was him just doing stand-up and kind of a peek behind the curtains. His SNL opening is actually about 10 minutes of 20 minutes of material that he cut from his special. That said, like most good comedy, if you hear it again, it's still funny. Then I'm sharing this because I mentioned gerrymandering a few weeks ago and people were like, I want you to talk more about it. But then John Oliver dedicated 19 minutes to it, so I'm gonna link to that video. I will say it's a bipartisan issue. I think the Republicans have done it way better in the past decade. But even if this is something that has helped your team, I think it's something that we all need to look at because it is very, very bad. It's a political tool meant to strip away people having an equal voice. And I was glad to see someone with such a big audience talking about it. And if you want to see the full versions of everything I just shared, the secret link of the day, anything at all, links as always are in the description down below. Then I want to talk about big law enforcement news. You may have seen the headline, Taser International, although now it's called Axon, is launching a program to offer free body cameras to every police officer in America. Wow, how giving. And so you see that headline, the question instantly becomes, why would a big company give away stuff for free? That seems to go against the general purpose of most any corporation. Well, here's the other part of that pitch. Axon also said it will provide supporting hardware, software, data storage, training, and support to police departments free for 1 year. It's the cheap and free printer business model. You give people a piece of hardware, potentially at an initial loss of money, so that over a long period of time you can actually make a lot more money off of them because of ink cartridges. So Axon gets to play the card of, we want accountability on our police force. So much so that we are going to give free body cameras out to police officers everywhere, and free training and cloud storage for the first year, and then you're gonna pay us a lot of money. What are you gonna do, try and buy all new body cameras because you don't want to pay us for data storage? Also, when you dive even further on this topic, you find out it's not even free. It's a free trial program. After the free trial is up, that camera costs a one-time fee of $399, while use of the company's evidence.com platform will cost $15 to $89 per month per officer. That said, my main issue with this story is how it's being presented. I think that this could be good overall. I, unsurprisingly, am a big fan of police officers having cameras on them. One, to actually show that they did nothing wrong in instances where they were accused, and also two, to have video evidence to back up people who are mistreated by police officers. So why not take advantage of a free year of seeing what it would be like to have every officer with a body cam? One, I believe accountability is very important, but two, it also might have an economic benefit. And that'll really come down to how often police officers officers are actually in the wrong. Because there's a lot of time and money wasted when there are false accusations against police officers. Where if the police officer was wearing a body cam, it could be easily dismissed and they could save time and money. Unless you have a bad police department and then you're just filming your police officers doing wrong and then having to pay out more money. But even through that, you're weeding out the bad officers. And so it's on that note, I want to pass a question off to you. Do you believe the police department should take advantage of this free year trial? Yes, no, I'd love to know your thoughts here. Then let's talk about Tomi Lahren, who's back in the news. Tomi, of course, a huge conservative voice out there, getting millions and millions and millions of views on Facebook with her rants. If you've missed what's been happening with her, she works for a company called The Blaze. She went on a TV show called The View. She actually said she was for abortion rights, adding that she is not a hypocrite like other conservatives who preach that they want smaller government, but then want the government to decide what a woman does with her body. I'm paraphrasing her words, but I'll link to the clip so you see that I'm not misleading you. She was then reportedly suspended by her employer. Then there were reports that she was fired. But now we have the news that Tomi Lahren is suing Glenn Beck and The Blaze, claiming wrongful termination. To strip it down and simplify it, Tomi is claiming that The Blaze breached contract because they fired her because she expressed a political belief. I saw a few people writing that she claimed that she was being fired because she was a woman. No, anything we've seen in formal documents, it is not a protected class situation. That being where someone's fired because their race, their age, their sex, their national origin, their whatever. It seems to be purely a breach of contract case. Now, in response to this, The Blaze released a statement to reporters saying that it is puzzling that an employee who remains under contract and is still being paid has sued us for being fired, especially when we continue to comply fully with the terms of our agreement with her. And so that's a big part of their argument. They're saying, well, she's not fired. She's just not able to access her Facebook page because she's suspended indefinitely. We're still paying her. We just would rather her not perform her job and talk on camera. And so if that's the case, I'm not really sure what all she can do. Tomi Lahren's contract reportedly ends September 30th, so she might be doing this to be able to actually gain access to that Facebook page now. She might be doing this to keep the hype around her alive so that she can then jump to another network. September 30th is kind of far away. And the thing is, I don't know how long she'll be able to keep this energy alive. And the reason for that is something that's reportedly in her employment agreement. And that's a choice of law/arbitration provision. And that provision states that all disputes, claims, and controversies arising out of or relating to any provision of this agreement, or the breach or alleged breach thereof, shall be settled by confidential arbitration in Dallas. Which means that unless there is some insane outlier that no one's talking about right now, this will most likely be handled confidentially. And that will likely result in a settlement, but there's a possibility we'll never really know what happened. And actually, on the back end of this story, the last thing I want to do today is I want to address something that people have been talking about. There's been rumor and speculation that the Philip DeFranco show may be canceled. And I just want to say, no, that is 100% not the case. Now, there are a lot of things happening behind the scenes, a lot of which I cannot talk about. Part of that also relates to why I'm shooting in a fucking bedroom. It's also stuff that's been hurting how much time I can actually put into these shows. But I did want to take this moment to dismiss those claims and also put anyone that is concerned at ease. There is a lot of garbage and annoying things that I'm having to deal with right now, but it is all leading to a much bigger, better, and brighter future. And once I get to a point where I am very excited to talk to you about what's going to happen. That's actually where I'm going to end today's show. And remember, if you liked this video, you like what I do on this channel, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you missed the last Philip DeFranco show, you want to catch up, you can click or tap right there to watch that. If you want to see today's brand new vlog, click or tap right there to watch that. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.